Okay folks, so welcome back to Project Mike 13. Now this evening we are going to be going out on the next bike for Project Trade Up. It's been a while in the making, lots of things have happened in life and I haven't posted recently. However, let's just get started on Project Mike 13 again. Let's check out the bike. Okay folks, so here we are, we have the Lapierre. I can't even remember what model it is. If you know, let me know in the comments. It's got a few trick bits on it. It's actually got a Hope set of wheels, Hope Pro 4s, front and rear, nice Hope purple clamp, and the headset bolt. It did come with a, it's got chain ring as well, but that's not Hope. A few little trick bits on it. It does need a few things doing to it. I do need to purchase a dropper for it, but then again I do have an old hydraulic dropper that I could put onto that. And the forks aren't the best, they don't run the best. So these are a set of Fox floats and they are a 32mm stanchion. We do also have the Lapierre shock on here, however the lockout is broken. It's bust at the moment, it's not working, so we've got to get that serviced and repaired as well. The discs are wobbly. You can see there the floating discs, they move too much inside, so I'm going to swap out. This is actually a rear caliper that I had on a different bike, so I've just put them on here currently. Tektro brake levers and the Tektro 4-pot on the front. They're not too bad, they work okay for this. Now the bar and stem combo is off of one of the other bikes that I've had, but I don't like it, it's too low. So that was the very quick bike introduction. Let's just get our lid on and go for a ride. I am putting this on Strava as well. Any ride that I do, you can see me on Strava. I'll put a link to that on the description down below as well. So if you do have any comments as well, just leave them in those comment boxes down below. Other than that, let's go ride. So guys, as you can see, we are running the Insta Go 3 on here on my head. This is going to be a new feature of the ride. Now it's going to be a bit of POV. We are here with the Lapierre. As you've seen in the intro, we are testing this out tonight. Now unfortunately on the less than 5-minute ride down here, there was too much skipping in the gears. I do think we're going to have to be replacing that drivetrain pretty soon. With regards to the setup, it's an 11-speed SRAM. So because it is a SRAM system, I'm already thinking I don't like it because I've never ran SRAM successfully. I've always been on a Shimano system. However, let's just ride the bike tonight and give it an honest opinion. Flies everywhere. Go. Look. Brakes aren't working. Let's see. No brakes, unfortunately. We'll have to sort that out soon. We'll have to put another set on. I know I've got a couple of sets of, what have I got at home? Avids. I've got a couple of sets of Avids, some old sets, something that'll match the era of this bike. Hey, it's nice going over the bumps though. There we go. Okay, so let's start on the trail. Let's hope going through this water makes these brakes just a little bit better. There we go, down and through. And splash up. The gearing system's okay. It's working okay in the gear that I'm in at the moment, which is third. So let's just hope I'm not having to keep in third all the way through. Let's see, do I climb? It's okay on the climb. Probably because of the weight of the bike. It does have me centered quite well actually. Not as confident on this going through these muddy sections as I am on the Vitus, but that's to be expected. The bike is quite twitchy on those wheels, like most of the cross-country bikes that I've ridden in the past. Really twitchy. Oh God, going through the mud. As you can see, we had some heavy rain recently. Yeah. Whoops, on the Wirral. and the trail has taken a beating. Okay, so initial thoughts, the bike's okay, nothing to write home about. It performs all right. So if you don't know about me, and this is your first time watching the channel, I am a cycle enthusiast. I love bikes, basically. Anything to do with bikes, I love it. And on this channel, I've got a lot of projects. Projects being just things, interests I have in my life. There goes those gears. And my interests range all the way from, say, airsoft, all the way through to zoology, or study of animals, basically. And I've got to take my time on things that I like. I like to know everything there is to know about them. And that's why, with bikes, with being so varied, a massive range of cycles and cycling abilities as well, that's why I like it so much, because there's so much to keep me entertained. So, moving on from that, as I said, if you are new to the channel, you haven't been here before, then you'd probably like to know what we're going to get onto. With regards to this, tonight we're just going to be talking about this bike that I'm on, the Lapierre. Now if you know what model it is, please do me a favour, hit me up in the comments and let me know what model it is, because I may need new parts for it at some point, or to get a spare bike. Now, with this being one of my projects, this is part of Project Trade Up. If you don't know what Project Trade Up is, it's basically where I purchase a bike for a cheaper cost with the intention of selling or swapping it for a profit, or for a bike that I need at the time. So, whoopsie, nearly lost myself. Whoopsie, it's difficult to ride this through all the mud. So, I am no means a professional. I am a full-on amateur rider. I have raced in the past. I've done mountain bike trials competitions, and I consider myself an okay rider. This channel is never meant to be an instructional channel. It's always just a case of, this is what I do, this is what I like, and show you what you can do, possibly. Whoa, that wasn't very good, especially not on this bike. It's very twitchy through those mud sections, and because I can't get that back wheel exactly where I want it, it just spins out. Rooty sections aren't the best, and that seat is pretty high for me. With me being a shorter rider, I love to get my seat lowered down so as I can control the bike better as I go through more difficult sections. So with regards to this bike, it is part of Project Trade Up. Project Trade Up is something I started a little while ago. Basically, it's bikes that I buy and sell, or swap to make either a profit or to get a bike that I want at the time, to upgrade, basically, trade up. Where I started, I had a Da Vinci Dixon for around about 12, maybe 15 years even. And with regards to that bike, I decided that I needed to upgrade to make riding in 2023, 2024 a little bit easier on myself. I felt that the old 26-inch wheels were a little bit more difficult to ride on, and I needed something a little bit better performance. So I started swapping. I started also at the same time a job driving the uplifts at Dovey Bike Park. With regards to that, I got to ride for free at Dovey, and that bike that I had at the time wasn't going to be any good. I also decided I wanted to race in the Welsh Enduro series. in 2023, but unfortunately I quite quickly realised that my skill and my ability on the bike was not there anymore, even if it was there in the first place. When I ride mostly for fun and enjoyment, not to beat the next person, and I found the setting of competition quite difficult to get into, especially when I'd been out of it for such a long time. So I have decided I'm not going to be able to do that bit. Normally here I ride up and over there. Not tonight though, not on this bike. So I decided that racing in 2023 wasn't for me. I needed to get my ability back on a bike. I started riding at Dovey every time I was uplifting. So when I was at Dovey, I was driving the uplifts, I got to ride for free, and I also got to do the track checks before everybody opened in the morning. Still there at the moment, still working at Dovey, just few and far between at the moment because of work. Now, because I was working at Dovey, I decided I needed a better bike. So I swapped. What I didn't, I sold the Da Vinci Dixon, and I sold it for enough money to buy my next bike, which was, there goes the gears, which was the Polygon Siskiyou D5. Now that was a great bike to begin with, a lot like this that I'm riding at the moment. It's a cross-country bike. I swapped out a few things on it, being the front wheel, forks, upgraded the brake pads, and just improved it slightly, maybe upgraded the discs as well. That bike again completed Dovey perfect. I was great on the bike was fine underneath me. I just didn't have the confidence on a bike that was slightly bigger than what I was used to. So I decided to part ways with the Polygon Siskiyou and I sold it. I wanted a more aggressive bike that I was going to be more comfortable with at Dovey. So then I bought a Specialized Big Hit 1. This Specialized Big Hit was amazing for Dovey. When I was riding, it made me feel confident. It had a set of triple clamps on the front. It was originally a free ride bike, but the person I bought it off had set it up as a downhill bike, which was awesome for a time, and I didn't really want to get rid of that bike, but needs must. So I needed a bike to do a bit more trail riding, hence this Lapierre. But the reason for that was because I was going to be doing my level 2 MyAS qualification for mountain bike leaders. So I am now a mountain bike leader. The good thing about that is I can take out my boys and my kids, as I used to anyway, but with a bit more confidence so that I know what I need to do. So now I'm able to work in the industry. The other thing that I did do in the past before all of this is I started riding as an instructor for Bike Right, producing the bike ability content for schools in the local area. With regards to teaching kids in schools, it was great. I loved it. I thought it was my new calling. I wanted to give something back to the cycling community, and that was the way I was going to do it. So I've kind of given my time and given my energy and effort back to cycling. That's the backstory of where we are today. So I swapped the Specialized Big Hit downhill bike basically for this Lapierre. It was a good swap because the Specialized downhill bike was only good for one thing, and that was riding downhill. I did only have one bike at the time, so I thought I may as well. And with work, that was going to be available to me. It was a good swap. Unfortunately, the work never materialised, and now I'm stuck with a mountain bike that I don't particularly like, but need to get riding, or I need to use on Project Trade Up, swap it off for another bike that's better. So that's where we are today. Taking the bike for a quick test ride on the local trail. If you're buying an older bike second hand, don't be put off, because they can always be fixed. You don't always worry about them straight away. The likes of paint and stuff, this has had a paint job at some point. Not the best one, but it's adequate for what it is. So I'm not too worried about damaging the paint on this. That's one bonus. Next bonus is the parts that are on it are actually okay. With it being a 27.5-inch bike, I've got these wheels now, and I can use these and utilise them on other bikes as long as they're compatible, because they're Hope Pro 4s. Now, it's been a few years since I've been on Hopes, but I love these. They're on Hope Tech rims. We will be doing a video in the not so distant future of me stripping and rebuilding these wheels. New spokes, new components in the hubs if I need, new bearings, stuff like that. So if you want to see that, please like, follow, subscribe and all that good stuff. You can also follow me on all the other social medias that we have. We've got Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. All my videos are going to be up on there, and we're basically just going for a ride around, test out this bike, take us on that route that I've planned out. If you see it on Strava, if you want to follow me on Strava, that's the route that we're doing. So if you want to join me on my rides, I'm going to be riding at least 3 times a week now, plus weekends. If you want to join me, feel free. If you're on the Wirral or Merseyside, you want to pop down for a quick 10-11 mile ride, or we do often do with the Facebook group that we have, the Wirral MTB group. If you want to join on there, and yeah, come for a ride with us. You're more than welcome. I haven't been out very often with the guys on the group recently because of work and because of commitments, or the commitments that I've got. So I'm just going to shut up and take you on the trail. I'll give you a bit of an understanding of what this bike's like. So, as you can see, the trails are quite overgrown. However, this trail along here is normally one that I would fly down. Well, go as fast as I can at least. It is a bridle way. Horses can use this as well. So you're just going to be aware that there's possibly people walking as you ride down. Just be careful. One of the things of the Green Cross Code: who gets right of way on a shared footpath? Pedestrians. So you've always just got to take into consideration that you don't own the road when you're riding. You also don't own the trails. Most of us are considerate. Some of us need a bit of a lesson. Let's see if we can get underneath this. Just about. Oh. Trail's quite sloppy now tonight. Not the nicest. So currently the bike isn't performing very well. We have slipping gears and the fact that I can't lower this seat. There are 2 things that I need to remedy straight away. The brakes are there eventually. However, I can ride with them currently. Let's see. Oh, I nearly lost my balance then. Not going over this. Some obstacles in the trail that I won't attempt on this bike with it being brand new. Like that rock we've just passed. Let's see, weight over the front. Can I climb up? Yeah, nice and easy. Quite punchy actually. The rear end feels quite short but stable. It's not as short as the Summit, I don't think. Same size wheel on the rear, being a 27.5. But the bike performs well. I could probably see myself getting to like this thing. Right, so this is descent down the back end. Whoops. Down of Royden without any brakes. It's not going to be the best, however, let's just go for it. Pulling those brakes is nothing happening currently, so I'm going to have to slow down. Yeah, slow right down. There's nothing happening on those brakes, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do the next part of the descent with nothing pulling, unfortunately. Let's have a look, see if I feel confident enough. Nope, don't feel confident, unfortunately. We don't do the steps, we normally go down this side here. So these brakes are literally non-existent, and these are the brakes that came on the Vitus Emathek LT. So yeah, I'm glad they're not on there anymore. I do have a set of, oops, I'm not going to be able to get up here now. Do have a lovely set of Magura MC7s on the Vitus amp currently, which I do feel quite privileged to have. Obviously, having Go and Cycle, I was able to get them for a much better price, much better cost than if I'd have bought them direct. The brakes are probably, brakes and drivetrain are the things that I need to change on this as soon as possible. So guys, if you do have any suggestions, even a second-hand old drivetrain that you might have that still works well, being chain, cassette and rear derailleur, I'd be more than happy to purchase that. Let us know cost. I'd like to stick with a 10 or 11 speed. I do have both systems for the hub on the Hope, so I can run the Shimano or I can run the SRAM, the Hyperglide or the XD drive. And yeah, I'm really not sure what system to go with next, because I know the Vitus needs a new system as well. I've been on a Mondraker test day with a local cycle shop, and yes, that was an eye-opener. E-bikes, light and full fat, and I tell you what, I am a mountain bike through and through, old school mountain bike. I do love these e-bikes that are coming out, however, those light e-bikes from Mondraker are amazing. One bike that really stood out on that day was the Mondraker Crush. It was absolutely amazing. That was the bike that I spent most of my time on. A good few hours riding on the trails, and fortunately it had the whole Olin setup on the front and rear on the suspension. The braking system was a bit poor, a bit pants. It was only a 4-pot Shimano setup, and being a test bike, a demo bike, they'd been hammered during the day, so last thing at night, or last thing in the evening, late afternoon, early evening, you've got underperforming brakes. Not the best on a high power e-bike, but it was great. And to be honest with you, I haven't been on a bike recently that has given me the confidence to do what I did on the Crush. I managed to be able to send most of the jumps right up, over and down most of the obstacles, and yeah, just enjoy it. It's a really good ride on that bike. Was one that I've earmarked for testing again later on in the year, and maybe even through into 2025. Right, so can't do any of the big drops on this bike today. I've got no brakes, and plus I'm just being a wimp. So there's a drop there I normally roll in through. It's okay, that one just up there. So Initial thoughts on the trail, I've got no brakes. So, you know, it's not going to be the best performance out of me today, or the bike. There's something I need to change, and this gear system, 11-speed SRAM. So I know that the chain and cassette are compatible because I purchased them off somebody that was using them on the bike currently. But unfortunately there's a lot of skipping of the gears. Now the cassette isn't worn completely, so it should still be working. I did see them working and feel them working on the other bike before I bought them. And the chain is only just coming up to the first wear point, the 0.5, so you know, that isn't even that bad. I think I'm a little bit ghosted with SRAM maybe, and Shimano actually at the moment. But anyway, the forks performing okay. I put quite a lot of pressure in these actually, because it is more of a cross-country bike. I want them a bit more firm than the Summit. They're quite soft and squishy. They ramp up as they go through the travel. These are just quite hard, and they'll ramp up even more as they go through the travel as well. So taking this route here, you can see we've got rocks, we've got roots, and we've got sandy ground, which makes trail riding difficult when your bike isn't set up correctly. I love this trail. It's one that I do quite often. Feel very confident on it now. But on a bike like this, it's going to be a good test. There's a crocodile rock. So just here ahead, we have first type of obstacle I've got to overcome. I can do this easily on the Summit. I don't think I'll do it on this though. Let's see. Smash the chain straight into it. Ooh. So I got up, not in the style that I wanted. Let's carry on at the trail. If any of the lads from the Youl MTB group are watching, thanks for the support. And yeah, looking forward to getting back out with you soon, guys. So again, popping up over roots and rocks. Not the nicest of trails to ride up on a bike that isn't set up correctly. However, it is a necessity today to test this bike out, see how it performs. Wow, that's very, very wet today. It's like a mud bog, but I'm managing to pedal through. That was quite deep, that actually, up over my tyres and rims, but I managed to ride right through it. Don't know whether it's because I've got these kind of tyres and they don't grip too much, or what, but as we ride we'll see how it goes. Again, these routes we're always testing, trying to make me fall off, but I can ride through them mostly. There we go. Go up this part. Wait. There we go. Didn't have my weight distributed on that route I've just come over, which made me fall. And here we come out into the open. So currently the cranks that I've got on this bike are a set of 175s Truvative Hussy Fella or Hussy Felt. I can't remember which ones I put on. Whew. But I've only had one rock strike currently, so rear shock is definitely set up better than what the Summit Amp is, because I constantly, even though they're 170s I think, or even 165s, the Shimano SLXs, they are smashing off the rocks consistently. Ooh. So this feels quite a bit more of a challenge, oops, than my other bike. I can't get the speed that I want to due to the slipping of the gears. Ooh, I can't get it in the right gear, so this climb is just going to be slow, unfortunately. There we go. So yeah, Fox Forks, I've never really gotten on with them, never really liked them much, never paid them much of attention, to be honest with you. Most of my life I've ridden Rock Shocks or Manitou, and obviously I've got the SR Suntours on the Summit at the moment. Let's go. There we go. So just to give you a bit more information about me, I am riding currently whilst England are playing in the European Cup final. Yeah, not a football fan at all. I know what you're saying, you should be supporting your team, but I did plenty of that in the past when we lost, so I thought I'd come out for a nice ride whilst everybody else is distracted on one of our local trails. There we go. So yeah, we do have sandstone. Sandstone is a sandstone trail. Really good for practicing in the wet. Try and keep that friction and traction on that back wheel. A lot of the time it doesn't happen. From here, there's a segment on Strava that I never get anywhere near the top speeds, because I always slow down at the top to get a little breath from the climb. Ooh, no brakes. Great. Ah, they've chopped everything. That's nice. So last week, this was just overgrown. Couldn't walk it, couldn't ride it. And yeah, wasn't fun. And that wasn't fun, to be quite honest with you. Not always the best fun. However, I'm able to get a bit more speed. Obviously it's a road, less road run resistance, and we'll just head back home down this road. Oh, there goes the sparrowhawk flying off in front of us. So as we come down here, we've got quite a busy road to come through. I just carry on, and then we go back onto the very beginning part of our trail. So fingers crossed we can get out in one go. Yep, off I'm coming. Oh, skipping. Skipping. And now we're going left, left, left. Straight out, see how empty these roads are now. Right, so as you can probably hear, it's not me switching gears, that was them, but as I change gears it skips dramatically. So try and get it into top gear and haul arse. twitchy on the front end, hitting that speed around the corner. Let's go. So if you remember, this is the trail we came down to before on the way towards that roundabout. Here we are, you can see the lights fading. We're back at the beginning of the trail, or the end of the beginning of this trail. Always make sure when you come through a stile, anything that's gated with a latch, it gets closed. So light is fading and we can't see. Let's see what we can get out of it. Oh, wheel spin. So the sun's dropped now. We are on just gone up to 9 o'clock. Normally it's a little bit later than this, a little bit brighter. It's quite dark at the moment. So we're back on the trail. We did this one in reverse before. There you go. See a little bit better. Hopefully you get to see the trail as I go down it. I'm going to try and put a little bit more speed in this one now. Hope you're enjoying the video. No brakes, no gears either. Come on again. Can't turn as fast as I'd wish on this bike because of the twitchy front and rear end. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that. Probably just going to have to adapt that suspension for me, get it set up better for my weight and my riding style. With the Lapierre rear suspension, the rear shock, it should be fine for this frame. So I'll get that a good service at some point. Just holding those brakes a little bit going through the mud actually benefits keeping it stable and upright. Thick mud, clicky gears, not the best. Probably can't get the best view on screen, but oh well. Now, gears are really starting to do my head in. It's quite good when it settles down. It's settling down very well though. And not knowing whether I can brake or whether I can shift is always an issue, but we'll figure it out. I'm not going to moan anymore basically, because this bike is all about that project trade-up. Now I'm going to take a slight detour from the way that I'd normally go. I'm going to go a little bit further around into Arrow Park, see if I can do the extra miles in here as opposed to on the road afterwards. Park has got so much potential for cycling. There's so much that could be done up here, just around the whole trail basically. Here we are, one of my favourite places at Arrow Park recently, and the old bowling greens, So there is a lot of space up here. I've got things in my head that I'd love to approach the council for doing, to do skate parks, cycle tracks, velodromes, loads of stuff that we could do here. And we also have this old building. It is currently falling down, but that would be absolutely amazing if that could be redeveloped into a cycle hub for the Wirral. That would be absolutely epic. My dream, basically. So this full amount of space that I've just ridden over, apart from this end bit here, was used once as a bowling green, or bowling greens. So there's 3 raises there, 3 platforms that was used as bowling greens. And that old building that I pointed out was the old unit for the bowling anyway. So lots of ideas of things that we could do to help the local community with cycling here. It'd be absolutely amazing to have something set up in the park, and that's kind of where I'm going at now with my project, with Project Mike 13. I would love to be able to have the idea that I pushed for something like that, because I feel so passionate about it. I know the local area could do with it, to have something to take in the older kids, and to kind of utilise the space a little bit better, and have something for families to come and join in at and enjoy as well. So we're just coming back to the beginning of the trail again. This is where we came up from before. We're going to go down the other side now and see what the other side's like. So we're going to go down the main path back through Arrow Park and then cross over back onto the trail at the bottom. Let's carry on down this trail. Oh, we've got a great sunset ahead of us there, down over the Mersey and out onto the Irish Sea. Looks gorgeous over that way. You'll be able to see it now as we come out. You can see the sun shining off the tops of those clouds. What a sight. Not too sure how much of this trail you're going to be able to watch or see, because it's super dark now, but I'm going to try my best to tackle it without falling off like I nearly did then. And I've got no brakes to stabilise myself, unfortunately. Everything's just feeling a bit greasy. So before I take this bike out next, oh, no speed. Before I take this bike out next, that's what I'm going to be doing, is putting on another set of brakes. As I said, I do have a couple of sets of Avids. I can't remember what they are. Avid Juicies, I think they are. Obviously before. Let me just go straight down and across through the water. Yep. Oh, there we go. Over, up and out. So I have currently done 10.83 miles. That's my quota done for this evening. Hasn't been so fast, hasn't been so good. However, tomorrow we'll do it again. We'll head out on the Vitus tomorrow and try and get a bit of a better ride captured for you on camera. As I've said in the past, if you do like the content that I'm producing, please give us a big thumbs up. It'll help greatly if you can like any videos that I put up, subscribe to the channel, and maybe leave some comments on the videos as well. I've got quite a few that I want to put out. I've got some other projects that I'm working on as well at the moment, which I'm going to try and capture and put out onto the net for you all to enjoy. So thank you very much for watching, and just let's get home. So we're home after the ride, and the bike is now back in the stand. That's going to get a quick jet off with the hose there and get any of that muck off, because we're going to work on that bike tomorrow. So I just don't know currently what I'm doing. However, it is again Project Trade Up. Fingers crossed you've been enjoying what we're doing here again. So as I said, if you like what you're seeing, a big thumbs up, comments in the comment section down below, subscribe, all that jazz, and we will see you in the next video, guys. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Remember, it's the same as always, go and cycle.